What did we think of this long section?
I really like it.
What do you think, before we start the actual discussion, do you think we can finish the rest for next week and then start?
I think so.
Yeah?
I think so. I've read quite a bit, like just today in a day.
Mm-hmm.
What's left? How many pages?
I don't know. I don't have my book.
245 to the last page is 367. It's like 120 maybe.
120 some.
Yeah.
Okay.
I won't be able to attend next week, so maybe I can just send in like my book recommendation or something, like separately. Because I won't be able to be there, unfortunately. Which is too bad because, I've read it before, so I don't want to say too much today. So then, by then, I could really spill, but not today.
Yeah. Okay, well. Chapter 10.
Don't we, if we finish it next week, don't we already should be selecting it this week?
Okay, so I told Karina, and I didn't tell you, Crystal, because I feel like I usually ask you or tell you about this stuff. But I decided that Karina should give us the book selections, and then we vote from there. Since it's a more spooky thriller kind of thing, and she's been wanting to do Stephen King, or was it Dracula, or some other ones?
Oh, I have a lot in mind. I don't know.
So I figured, because I don't really have any October related kind of thing, and I feel like it'd be good to do that.
I don't even have a bookshelf, so whatever I'll decide.
See, so I don't know if you guys are okay with that.
I'm okay with the scary book.
Yeah. So I was thinking Karina could give us, first I told her she could just pick one book, but I guess we could all decide, so then we're not left with the book we're like, I'm not interested.
This one's too scary, Corina.
Yeah. So maybe Karina can do that. And I was thinking we could maybe do the voting in between this week, just so by the next time we have the book already and people can start getting it and stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
I'll work on that. I'll try to find different genres within the scary genre and see what I come up with.
Okay. So we're going to finish this one for next week, and then we'll figure out the new book in between the week. So I'll update on Instagram and all that stuff. So what did we think of this? We went from them being 16 to then going into almost war. Or war.
They're in war.
They're in war at the end, yeah.
But how old are they? They didn't really say. 20?
I think they're between 16 and 18 maybe.
Yeah.
Babies.
Mm-hmm.
I know that they're all talking about this. I don't get what it means to be married. They kind of pass that around a lot. It's if you sleep someone with, you're married to them.
Yeah, because I think, I don't know her name, but remember the one that's pregnant?
What starts with a D?
Data something, right?
Daydamia?
Daydamia, yeah. Mm-hmm. So I think from what I understood was that the mom, that Tease, whatever her name is, pretty much said you're gonna marry them, and then I don't know if she did a whole little ceremony or something, but they're oh, they're basically wife and husband. I don't know. That wasn't very clear. It's weird.
I think if what God just says this is your husband or you're married now, then it just is.
Oh.
They have that higher power, even more than a priest or something.
Oh, that's interesting.
That was really awkward though. It was
it didn't.
I felt a love square almost.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it didn't seem to stick because then, the whole thing that happened with Odysseus, telling him it was okay with, what was it? It was Agamemnon's daughter that the man then sacrificed. That, remember Achilles was oh yeah, I'll marry her, I guess. Even though
was so terrible.
Already married. It was so bad.
Who killed her? I was kind of confused about
her father.
I think her dad killed her.
Mm-hmm. Why?
And he tried to say that it was oh, she knew about it.
She did.
But she was okay with it. But I don't think
Yeah.
so. Nobody has a fear in their eyes
Yeah.
if they knew they were getting
Yeah.
murdered.
Yeah.
Yeah, they lied about
Yeah.
that. Because it said that human sacrifice was seen as like so terrible, but they lied and told like all the soldiers like, oh, she agreed to it, she was okay with it. But Patroclus knew it wasn't true because when they started pulling her away, she had like a lot of fear in her eyes because I don't think she knew what was happening.
Mm-mm.
So they did that as a sacrifice for the gods?
For
Or
Artemis.
Mm-hmm.
Because there was no wind. They weren't able to like sail
Mhm.
without
I see,
any
I see.
wind.
Okay.
So Artemis, let me see what she's the god of. I forgot. I used to be more. I think she's
Oh, it
the
says it in the
hunting one.
back.
Oh,
So-
thank you. I have the Kindle version, so I don't click through all the way, but let me check. I should grab Rico's copy, but I don't know where he left it. I think she's the goddess of the hunt.
Yeah, I don't think they ever explained what they did to offend her. It was just that they had offended her.
I think it was the going to war and the like potential future blood spill, so she wanted some for herself
Oh yeah, you're
too.
right.
Mm.
You're right.
I just finished reading it, so I have that a little fresh in my brain. Let me see. Artemis, the twin sister
Definitely
of
like
Apollo,
took long breaks.
angry about the bloodshed the Trojan War would cause, she stopped the winds from blowing. And after the sacrifice of Iphigenia, she was appeased and the winds returned.
Mm. So that's interesting. So in gods then like humans dead, but yet the war.
No, it's like this is something like a life for a life.
Oh, okay.
They said something like that
see.
where I was like, oh,
Okay.
I wonder if it's like, I'm not sure, but I did read that.
Okay.
It was
I
like the
think
meaning for the sacrifice.
Yeah. It could be that she has like some favorite Trojans too, because I feel like the gods did that. They'd be like, oh, you're my favorite human and no one can do anything to you. And so if someone does, then I'm gonna like demand something or get revenge somehow.
Okay. I see. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Also, I feel like I'm thinking more about like Greek mythology, but I feel like sometimes the gods are like kind of petty, like they're very
Definitely.
like emotional and kind of I don't know.
They're very like jealous too and like envious, I guess. Kind of the same word, but
Hello, Rico.
Hello.
I did not like when the girl died because I was like, that's terrible, you know, like you think you're coming to get married and then like
It's so graphic.
Yeah. And I'm usually okay with that, but I think just because I actually really did get surprised, I was like disturbed.
And that was Achilles' first death,
That he
right?
saw, yeah.
Yeah. It was interesting how different he reacted to, what's his name? Patroclus. Because like Patroclus kept thinking about it, and I think maybe it's because he actually killed. But never mind. I guess Achilles then ends up killing, but he reacted differently too. I don't know. It's just interesting to see how he is taking up that role of like, oh, I'm supposed to be the best warrior. I'm supposed to be, and I'm meant to kill. So I think part of that, he's just, he's maybe faking to be into the role, but I don't know. It's kind of sad because what I feel like maybe he's also kind of like numbing himself that way.
Mm-hmm. I feel like he and Agamemnon are going to go at it eventually too because of how he didn't bow and he kind of is like, I'm here because I want to, not because anyone commanded me. So I'm interested to see like if they're going to get into conflict later.
I almost feel like it's going to be after that slave that he saved. No, I don't even remember her name. Yeah, there we go.
Perseus. Mm-hmm.
Have any of you guys seen the movie Troy, by the way?
No.
Because if that's probably good because there's, I guess, spoilers in the movie, but a lot of these characters are also in that movie, including Briseis is in the movie too. So,
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
I recommend watching
Plays
it
out
after it's good.
differently.
Yep.
Yeah, it plays out very differently though.
I feel like I'm watching
Anyway,
bits of the movie in my head, especially when they were describing Hector. I'm just like, oh my gosh. I can imagine the movie playing in my brain.
I thought it was very sad when they were first leaving that like kingdom, right, where Achilles was supposed to be like hiding. I forget the names because they're so long, I kind of just overlook them. but like when they're where he's talking to like whatever the king, right? He tells him like, my mom wants to look after the child. It's a boy. I was like, is it because she's already like, she already knows that Achilles is gonna die, that she still wants a son? I just thought it was like sad where he's like, fine. It's like, oh, that his daughter lost a husband, and then it's gonna lose her baby. I was like,
yeah, that part was weird.
Yeah, and then he was like, I wish I had never met you, or I wish you had never been here, or something like that. Yeah. That's sad. Was I gonna mention something about that? Oh, with the prophecy?
oh yeah.
I know. Does that mean it happens? Because I feel like, does it have to happen? Isn't it like a prediction kind of thing?
I think it's what prophecy is, like what's supposed to happen, right?
I think it does happen, but you don't know exactly like how it might happen. Like it might happen in a way that you don't expect.
It's just a given that's what's gonna happen. Okay, because like I've heard of this, but then I was like, let me look up the exact definition, and it said a prediction. But I'm like, if it's a prediction, then why would they be so worried? You know, like if it's.
I mean, isn't that why like Achilles, when it comes to like what's his name, his lover,
Patroclus.
yeah, like when Achilles' mom tells him like what's supposed to happen, right? The prophecy. Oh, he's gonna like once. All I can tell you is once Hector is dead, he's dead.
Yeah.
It's like, but him thinking it's like, well, if Hector doesn't die, he won't die. So let me try to make it so that it's like he doesn't die, so that he can keep him with him. So maybe it's like a prediction, I guess.
I feel like no matter what they do, even if they know the prophecy, no matter what they do, it always ends up happening.
If it's not in one way, it's a different way. So it's like, oh, Hector might not die in battle, but he might die of like, I don't know,
something else.
Yeah,
measles.
like sometimes what I've seen is like, all they do will go through all this, and then that person ends up killing them. Like if they get mad for some reason, and then they end up dying.
I think I know what's going to happen just because of the movie, so I'm not going to say my predictions.
Damn.
Right, I have a feeling.
Yeah, it's good that you guys haven't mostly seen the movie.
I think they mentioned it at the previous movie. Was it you, Karina? The movie?
I think it was Katie that brought it up at the last one.
Okay. Yeah, she said it was a good one to watch, and I'm glad I wasn't super driven to be like, yeah, I'm gonna watch it tonight.
And then watch it after.
Yeah.
It's a good movie.
I think it'll be really interesting to watch after you finish the book for sure.
Is there a lot of murder in it?
Like war?
I feel
warfare?
like it's
Yeah.
well, I don't want to say too much, but I think it's like a good kind of like, okay, like Gladiator. It's less violent than Gladiator. It's more
never saw that.
Yeah, me either.
You should watch it.
Like, oh shoot.
Like Game of Thrones. Like compared to Game of
Thrones.
Thrones.
It's a PG-13 movie, I think.
Oh, okay.
Maybe it's R. I don't know. So it's not like crazy. Yeah, it's not.
So it's not like Game of Thrones.
I haven't seen that.
No, it's more about like the characters. It's more about like the characters and the story. There's battle, but it's not like Game of Thrones gory.
Okay.
So maybe I'll be able to watch it.
You had issues with Game of Thrones?
No, but that's like as nasty as it gets for me. I'm not really into like, heads being slashed.
Yeah.
And I mean, Brad Pitt plays Achilles, so you know that kind of all you need to know. And Eric Bana plays Hector. He's a favorite of mine also.
They both do a very
Anyway,
good
we're getting off.
job. Did you guys think it was strange that Thetis is kind of like lurking and also watching Achilles in battle? I thought that was weird.
She's very involved.
Yeah, helicopter parent.
She's overprotective, but if she knows that he's gonna
Like
die
every mother.
eventually, maybe it's just to spend some sort of time with him. I don't know.
Yeah.
But then she gets all bitter when she sees. What's his name again?
Patroclus.
Patroclus.
Mm-hmm.
Patroclus. Patronus. Whatever his name is.
Patty.
Patty.
We'll just call him P.
Oh, Patrick. Could be Patrick.
Patrick. We'll call him Patrick.
Yeah, I think she's jealous.
Definitely. But you know, some moms are like that.
Jealous of him?
The fact that Achilles like loves Patroclus and like spending time with him and trusts him, and like, you know, only one that he should trust and value is her.
Mm-hmm.
I see that. Because she'll be there in the end.
Maybe.
I thought it was really funny when he's like, when I die, he asks his mom to take care of him, and she just goes, no.
No.
I was like, then why'd you tell him? You shouldn't have even said anything.
You never know.
I was listening to the audiobook, and it's interesting to hear her voice. She sounds scary. She's like, oh, and I was like, what is this? Like, it's bad. And I thought they were gonna make her sound all like, you know, like a goddess, not like a freaking sea monster. Like sea.
But it like describes her voice though, like as like sounding like the rocks of the beach or something, right? Like it's
which
her
makes
voice
sense.
is supposed to be really like awful. So the narrator, I think in general does a really good job.
I like it.
Book.
I wasn't falling
really good voices.
When I was reading it and she showed up to where Chiron, I think his name is, was training Achilles and Patroclus. I think there was a day where Patroclus woke up early and he went outside and like the whole forest was quiet, and then he saw her and it was like, I think he said if Chiron didn't show up, she would have heard him, because I think she was like doing something to his mind somehow. So she sounds scary.
Yeah, I would not want to cross paths with her. It's just creepy because of how she kidnapped Achilles.
Like, oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, I'm dead. Go ahead.
No, you.
Oh, I was just saying it's like creepy because of how she kidnaps Achilles from like their bed at the dad's house and then just squirrels him away to the island. Like she definitely is involved.
I think it's funny that Achilles seems like to not, like everyone else is freaked out by her, and he's just kind of like, oh yeah, you know, she's like he just kind of doesn't seem to know how scary she is to other people.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we find out that Helen is gone, and at the beginning I was like, did Prince Paris, I was gonna say Harris, did Prince Paris actually take her, or did she go by herself? And then later on we hear that I think someone else was also mentioning that, I don't remember the characters, but they were like, oh, maybe she went because she's the most beautiful female in I think the country, and then it became the world, and then they were just doing it for war. And I just thought that was interesting because I'm like, from the beginning it seemed kind of, I don't know, kind of sketch. Like, I don't know, I don't think that she was kidnapped. I think she went because she wanted to go, or because we were in the whole LGBTQ kind of thing. I was like, what if the king is gay and she's like, nah, I'm gonna go with my true love and we booked it. I don't know. That's just what I was thinking.
They do say a lot of young men take like they're like with other boys before they marry off, which is like interesting, right?
Their
So it's like
That was
experimental
a
phase.
thing. Oh, am I echoing weirdly? Okay. I was gonna say that I think that is an actual thing in Greek culture, like that actually was a thing where like there would be like older men and younger boys, or like that, like homosexuality was actually like pretty like normal part of normal life.
because everybody was having
Whereas
sex with
with
everybody,
Roman
right?
culture, it became like pretty much. And then in Roman culture, it became more like frowned upon, but people are still doing it. But yeah, I think that there's some historical precedent to what's happening in the book, kind of thing.
Mhm.
Which I can see because I think, where was it? When he was in that little island, and what's the king's name? Like comedies?
Locusites or something like that.
No.
Locobites.
No.
Let me see.
No.
I'm telling you, all these weirds are
Like
all these names are
comedies,
weird.
like comedies, something like that. He pretty much said like, oh yeah, I'll get a room for your partner. And then they kind of let them be together for a while without issues. So I'm like, if they were, and homophobic or something and it wasn't a thing, I don't think they would allow it. Or there would have been some sort of turmoil, and there wasn't. They were just kind of, oh yeah,
Mhm.
guess are clearly lovers. Go ahead, do your thing.
Definitely an open secret. Like when Achilles claimed Briseis, like Odysseus like raises his eyebrow and is like,
yeah.
I didn't think you liked. So they're like, I feel like they're hiding it, but everybody knows.
Yeah.
I mean, they hug out in the public, like they're showering out in the lakes and the oceans together, right? I mean, his mom went and dragged him out of the room, right? They sleep butt naked next to each other.
And they
Yeah.
when they returned, they were like, there was only one bed, and then it's obvious. It's interesting.
And I'm the way that they describe him, I almost feel like Patrick seems kind of feminine.
Patrick.
I call him Patrick.
Well, there's that line with "you would not be displeased with how you look now," or something that Achilles tells Patroclus when they're a little more grown up. That made me laugh because I was like, well, it's like a compliment, but also he's kind of saying like, oh, I'm pleased with how you look, because he's saying you would not be displeased, so that means something about him is pleasing.
I think he was described as looking like a hawk. Like having like a hawk's eyes or something like that.
Oh my gosh.
That's funny.
Oh, why do you think Patroclus ended up hooking up with the princess before she left?
I think he low-key is bisexual.
I think so too. At first,
because he looks at women he's like, oh, she's beautiful.
And Achilles does not seem to even like when she was around. He was like, I don't care. I don't. What? She's talking to me? Oh, yeah.
That's
Like that was so mean.
Yeah.
But he clearly is not interested in females, and Patroclus is, which I was like, oh shoot, well, I didn't see that one coming.
Yeah.
It was interesting.
I thought
That's
she
why I
was
feel like.
doing it. Oh, go ahead, Crystal.
Oh no, go ahead. I was just thinking out loud.
I thought she might be doing it as kind of like revenge to seduce Patroclus, and then say like it might break up him and Achilles if Achilles got jealous or something. But then it'd be kind of hypocritical because Patroclus forgave him kind of for it. I don't know, even though it wasn't his fault. So it's just strange.
I'm wondering if it's gonna come back, if Achilles will actually know about that, or if Patroclus will mention anything, or just let it go and be like, whatever.
Well, he's gonna die before he finds out anything, right?
Is he gonna die? Do we know that?
I don't know. I feel
don't
like the
know.
song of Achilles, that sounds like, oh, like his, like, I don't know, his story before his death, you know? Like, I feel like a song always has an end.
Yeah, you're right. Like an ode.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I guess so.
I kind of thought that he, like, Patroclus is kind of like a people pleaser, and he likes everybody to feel good and like be happy, and he tries to help people. And I kind of viewed him hooking up with her as he just recognized how bad she was feeling, and he felt really bad for her, and he was trying to make her feel better, and was just kind of going with it.
I mean, he
And,
did say he was
like,
aroused by it, right?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm not saying that like he wasn't aroused, but I'm saying that I think he's the kind of person that, like, he sees that someone's feeling bad and he wants to help them and he wants to make them feel good. So he's kind of like he's a little passive sort of in that way, that like if someone's kind of telling him to do something or wanting something, he'll want to like make them happy.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's why he went through with it like fully, because he was just like, I felt so bad and I wanted her to feel a little bit better if she could. but she could kind of tell that he wasn't.
Yeah, that was very awkward. Do you think he kind of is seeking other people's approval because of how he was treated by his dad when he was a child? Maybe that could be it too.
Yeah, I can see that.
Definitely.
I think he did mention that at some point, that I think the way he and Achilles are, I think Achilles is just, doing his own thing, not really caring, and he's more careful with how he, I guess, interacts or does certain things with certain people. And I think it's because definitely childhood where the dad didn't even like his mom and all that stuff. So
yeah,
it's a little trauma.
I wonder if it's also because, I mean, technically he is the son of a king, but it's kind of like more lower king, and since he was exiled, he doesn't associate that with himself anymore. And so he's the exile. So I feel like maybe he's trying to be more like a smooth talker and politically correct. That way he doesn't like rub anyone the wrong way, and then like they'll like, get him in some sort of trouble or something.
I find that interesting that since he was exiled, he's kind of, he doesn't have the name anymore. But since he had that oath, it's like you kind of have to do it, right? Like, regardless of what happened.
The gods did not like it. They took the oath.
With you, and you have to kind of go out there and do it and fight. Stick to your word.
That makes sense. Let me see what else I wrote.
I also wrote down a quote that Patroclus said, I did not plan to live after he was gone, which is whether Achilles lives or doesn't, and we're saying that he's not going to, I feel like he's going to kill himself, like a whole Romeo and Juliet kind of thing.
Yeah. I feel like they're both going to not make it to the end of the book. It's just a matter of like how, because I know that Greeks like really like tragic stories, and I feel like a lot of times like really bad things happen to the main characters. Like where I mentioned before that Heracles, even though he got really famous, like he went crazy and he killed his wife and family and things like that.
I think they were giving out a lot of examples of that when I think Achilles was saying that he was going to be the first to be a hero and happy, because everyone else was a hero, but they were unhappy because of some sort of tragedy they had. I don't remember all the examples because the names I can't remember.
Yeah.
But
I feel like the gods always get jealous too. If there's someone who's like too happy, they'll be like, no one can be more happy than me.
Oh my god.
It's true.
That's so mean. I feel like
God, imagine having to deal with like praying to these gods all the time. They're like so temperamental.
Yeah. And it's like, I feel like everyone thinks gods and goddesses, oh my gosh, they're amazing, yet they're over here. I feel like they're acting like children.
Definitely. They're constantly fighting amongst themselves in the Greek mythology world. And they have their favorites, like their favorite king, their favorite country, and that's how the drama starts with the humans.
No, I don't think I have any more else.
The only part that I wrote that I haven't said yet, but it's kind of been alluded to, is like not only is Agamemnon kind of like bossy, but also really greedy. And that made me think, like, are they really going for Helen, or are they going because they think that there's a bunch of cool stuff in Troy that they can take? Because of how the book described that after they do the raids, there's like different piles, and the best pile goes to the best soldier, then so on and so forth. But Agamemnon took the biggest pile for himself. And Achilles said, oh, well, that just makes him look greedy. And when he said that, it made me think like maybe he's just doing it because he wants to get to the riches of Troy, and Helen's not really going to be such a big deal, like in the end.
And I
Like,
think they even mentioned that they're not really saying anything about Helen. Like,
right.
oh, we're gonna go out there and get her, or like we're doing this for Helen, you know, like that's what they're saying their purpose is. But they only mention it, I think, when they talk to certain men, they said.
To the soldiers, like to keep them encouraged.
Yeah. It's interesting.
I feel like that's how, like, it mirrors like how war goes, like in our current lives, where it's like there's like maybe a noble purpose at first or something, or one that we're told, but then there's a lot of other ulterior motives or a lot of other agendas that kind of are there behind the scenes that are really maybe why it's happening. So because you know the it's so noble when you're just going to fight for Helen and for her honor, but if you're just like going to conquer people, it's not so heroic, I guess.
Yeah. And the part where it
said, but I think definitely, at least with Agamemnon, it's about conquering, because that guy is definitely all about that.
Yeah. It's just funny how the part I just read said that she wants to stay. You know, she wants to stay with Paris. And I remember at the beginning they let her pick her husband. So I'm like, well, maybe she was picking a different one now. But I don't think that the Kings are gonna let that slide. But like on that logic, then they should just leave, right? If she's happy and it's not for her honor or whatever. So yeah, I'm curious to see what will happen.
I do wonder, and they did mention it around that section you're talking about. I think Achilles was asking Patroclus, like, oh, why do you think she picked this one person? And they're like, well, the sister's already married to one of the brothers, right? Or something like that. And then they're like, oh, well, he's not the most handsome, or he's not the strongest, and blah, blah, blah. So maybe they schemed this all out way beforehand. I don't know. I don't know. She kind of, at least I feel like if there were this many men, I'd be like, well, I don't know which one to pick. It would take me a while. And I feel like she didn't do that. She's just kind of like, oh, that one. Like, it was already kind of sort of planned out. Like, maybe the dad, like I said previously, the dad wasn't like, oh, we're going to let her choose. No, she just kind of, you know, or he just kind of let it be and said, yeah, have her choose whoever she wants. I don't know.
That's just like Achilles told Patroclus, like, which suitor would you pick or something? That was
that was funny too. So, who would you pick?
Yeah.
And plus, like, Menelaus was like one of the more like wealthy kings, like of like a big kingdom, and like Helen's probably been like secluded and sheltered this whole time because she's like the most beautiful woman, so they don't want, you know, like she's wearing like a shroud over her face. So yeah, maybe it was like a naive decision that she now regrets. So maybe the Trojans are telling the truth and she does want to stay, but it doesn't matter. We're still gonna fight.
It's interesting. I like it.
I like it too.
I didn't finish it.
He tells us at the end.
I know.
I read up to a certain part, but
where did he get to?
oh man. So last reading I didn't finish it, so I had to do catch up. And then I read up to, I think they were still at the cave. They were still at the cave with Chiron. Yeah. I can't remember exactly what part.
But you read some of the stuff before in college, right? Didn't you take a class on it?
Not this book, no.
On
Not
the Odyssey or the Iliad?
Yeah, different books. Mainly, I can't
I remember
remember.
you talking about Odysseus in one of them. That's why.
Yeah,
Is the Odyssey about Odysseus?
Because it
Yeah,
has
it's
his name in
after
it.
the Trojan War. And it's actually, if you read her other book, Circe, part of the Odyssey is covered in that book, as well as some other Greek myths. If you guys like this book, that one is kind of also in this genre. She wrote another book after this.
Is Circe after this?
I mean that she like wrote it
Kind of.
a few years later, but it's like also it's a different character and all that.
Yeah.
But it's also like Greek myths and stuff, and Odysseus is in it. So
Okay.
I guess that's the one crossover. Is Odysseus is in this one and he's in the other book.
So we know he survives.
Well,
So he dies in one book,
Odyssey
but it's like he comes back.
the gods brought him
the
back.
Odyssey is set after this, and it's about him. So
It's all over the place.
hopefully that wasn't a spoiler. Sorry, guys.
He
No,
survives.
I wasn't. No, it's okay.
Or he comes back. Don't the gods do that?
That's what I said.
They've done that before.
Because they did that.
Yeah, they do that.
Who did they do it to?
There was a kid that was
one
murdered.
girl that
Oh, the one that got cut up or something, right? By
there
his
was
dad.
like the girl that I think there was like a woman that went down to the underworld and she was allowed to come back.
No, it was
like
somebody who was
some
cut up, I
myth.
think. And then it was like their father or something like that was thrown into the fire. And like they brought her back. And then it was like it said something about like even when they come back though, it doesn't mean that they're gonna have like a good life.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
like they're indebted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so. I feel like that reminds me of Hercules.
Yeah.
One thing I noticed, and I was trying to make the connection, but I didn't read far enough. But I know Heracles had like a tragic ending. Who was the other guy that Tryon trained?
Jason.
Did he
With
also
the
have a
police.
tragic ending?
I think so.
I feel like Chiron is like a commonality between all of them. So I wonder if he has any.
Bad juju.
Yeah. I know he has like all these good intentions, right? Because he asks him like anything you want to learn, I will teach you,
Yeah.
and he does. But I wonder if he's like you said, bad juju.
Mm.
I thought that.
Have you guys seen?
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you go first this time. I won't forget.
Oh, mine's like a stupid comment. I'm saying that. Have you guys seen the animated Hercules?
Yeah.
Yes.
You know the
Love.
little what's his name? The Chiron character is in Hercules. He's like, what's
Phil?
the guy's name? Yeah, Phil.
Philippides.
That's Chiron. He teaches him and he's a
Oh.
centaur. That's the
Yeah.
same guy.
That's who I imagine.
But he
There's
does.
That's
a picture in the back
hilarious.
of the
The way
book.
But in the movie, he does say that, right? Like at the beginning, he's like, "Oh, like all the others or something," and he says, "I trained this one and this one." There's even a song. Okay, I was gonna say, I'm surprised Patroclus is not like on the medic duty. I thought that's what he was gonna do when he was looking at the medical tools, and Chiron was like, "Oh, do you like this? I can show you." And it seemed like he was interested, and now he's just like running around in the war zone. I thought he was going to be the doc and be helping heal people. So I was a little disappointed in that.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe it comes later on when there's more wounded people.
Maybe.
Or probably not, because he I feel like if he was interested, he would have kind of done it already.
Yeah.
And well, he didn't.
Yeah, shell shock.
That would be a better use of him than going out into the battlefield and ducking arrows.
Yep.
It's kind of nice that he, with all the girls, he's kind of like trying to teach them and making them feel somewhat more comfortable because clearly they don't have a choice. They were, what they're doing and all that.
Yeah,
so that's kind of nice of them.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely kind of has like more of a more a traditional moral compass kind of thing than Achilles. Achilles is just kind of like he has these gifts, but he's almost innocent in that like he doesn't always really think about other people. But Patroclus is always like trying to look out for others more than Achilles.
I wonder if it's just because of their upbringing, because I feel like as children, probably Patroclus struggled more with like his mom's condition and then just not being treated very well himself.
And I feel like Achilles has always been like, oh, you're half, part of the gods. So you're like a star. And he was good at, what was it, running or something? Right? So I feel like he's always been the star athlete or the star in, I don't know, I feel like they haven't really mentioned education, but if it was, I feel like he would be, excelling and all that stuff. Like very outgoing.
Well, they teach him about like the different colors, right? Like the different places, like in their significant colors.
Yo. Sorry, came in. I don't know. I was like, oh god. She got me some snacks. They look like dog food.
Oh, is it the little snap peas from Costco?
I think it is the snack peas.
My mom likes this.
She just walks in without a word. I'm like, okay. Sorry, I don't know what we were saying. My bad.
Something about colors?
Teaching the colors.
Oh yeah, that they're like, that's something that they learn, right? Like the different, like when they're from different areas, they all have like different colors and flags and kings and whatnot. I don't know where I was going with that.
Just education.
Oh yeah, there we go. That's what we're talking about.
You're like, what?
Like he's like the golden child, and he's always been the best. And
yeah, I think it's
gotten special attention.
Someone mentioned it earlier of how Patroclus may have slept with that girl because he felt sorry for her, and kind of his upbringing, he knows how that feels like to be left out or not be wanted. So I think that can kind of play in this discussion where Achilles has never really felt that. It's always been good for him, or he's always been wanted by all the other friends or whatever. And Patroclus is the complete opposite.
I wonder what he would be like if he wasn't with Patroclus. Like what would he have grown into?
I was just gonna say an asshole. Right?
Probably, right?
He humbles him, or he brings him down. He grounds him a little. But yeah.
Yep.
I kind of feel like his personality might kill him.
Hubris.
We'll see.
We shall see.
Yeah.
In chapters 23 to 33.
So we do read till the end? Or I'm right? Or
yeah.
Okay.
I think so. I think it's doable. And if we don't finish,
we could do a Wednesday too if someone needs more time.
Karina just sent me the selections and stuff.
I think I can just do a Google form if that's okay with everyone. I'll put a few in there. I'll put the description. That'll give you a little break, Judith.
Yeah.
Do you guys have my email? I don't know if you guys do.
I think I originally have it under the...
I can send it to someone if I need to. Right here, wait, let me put it in the chat.
Oh yeah, that works too.
That works.
Actually, it might be better if we do change instead of Sunday, maybe do like a Wednesday. So not only does it give everybody time to finish, but it also gives like time for us to like get our books if we do decide like we pick the book sometime this upcoming week. Like if it takes a couple days, it might not get here by Sunday, you know?
Okay, when should I have the form ready by?
There we go. So you're thinking, Crystal, to do a meeting?
Or what do you, I mean, we don't have to. I was just like kind of like a suggestion.
No, yeah.
Because like Rico was saying he didn't finish last time, so he's still a little bit behind.
Yeah.
And then to put another 120 pages
Yeah.
on top,
Probably
he probably
still
won't
catch
finish
up.
by Sunday.
But he goes outside to build instead of read. I tell him sit and read, and he builds. So
I definitely vote for Wednesday because I can't come Sunday. So that would be great for me.
That might be nice. And then maybe we can like vote before then so that everybody has their book already by Wednesday, and then do the regular Sunday meeting, but just a shorter section.
We can start off with a little tiny bit, yeah.
Yeah.
So you're saying
just as a teaser.
Have
a form tomorrow.
Okay. I think we can send out the form. Well, if you have it tomorrow, we can send it out tomorrow.
Okay. But no later than Tuesday.
Have the voting by Wednesday. For sure. Everyone be done with it. And I can put the next book. People can get their book. That's the 15. So would we have the Sunday meeting or no? You said a tiny little one.
A short portion because we would have another week, right? Because it won't be quite the end of September yet, or will it? Let me check. There'll be Sunday. Hold on, I can't even tell.
Because we still have.
That would give us 5 weeks, so we could do a slightly longer one. Right?
Yeah. So I was thinking we could be done. You were saying, Crystal, next, not this week, but the following.
Not this week, yeah. So it gives some
could be our
people like a week
meeting
and a half.
Yeah. So no meeting on Sunday the 19th.
Yeah, so just instead moving it to Sunday, so it gives people to finish, and then
for the 22nd.
And then Paula can actually attend.
That works. I'd love that.
That'd be
I'm
cool.
going to a Sunday wedding, which is weird. I don't know why weddings are on Sundays.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen that a lot, but
You know why? Because everybody's booked now. People are like desperate. It's like, fine, let's just do it on a Sunday.
It's also cheaper on
Fridays and Sundays. It's cheaper.
Non-Saturday days.
Mm-hmm.
Non-Saturday.
That works.
So get married on a Tuesday.
On a Tuesday.
Exactly.
And then even so, we'll still have plenty of Sundays because we'll have the 26th, and then the 3rd, the 10th. We'll have almost 6 Sundays. October
is a long one too because the 31st is a Sunday, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I'll keep that in mind because then maybe we can do a slightly longer one.
Are we gonna finish on Halloween?
Yes.
Oh my God, spooky!
We should wear costumes.
Oh my God.
Spooky.
It's my favorite holiday, Rico.
They have costumes at Costco, but they're all for
already.
That's funny. Okay, yeah. So our next meeting will be Wednesday the 22nd. No meeting on Sunday.
And someone please text me because I always almost forget when it's like not on Sunday because I'm so used to it.
Yeah, I'll remind you.
Thank you.
I'll be like, something feels off, and then I'll text you.
Oh, sweet.
Okay. Well, Wednesday I will send out the form once Corinna gives it to me. So I'll still put that up on Instagram and all that stuff.
Okay, so do you want us to vote through emails?
I think you're gonna do a form, right?
Yeah.
Corinna? I think we can do the Google form stuff, voting through there like a poll.
Oh, okay.
I'll handle
That'd
it.
be nice.
I could even text it to you guys, I think.
Oh, you can vote on your phone.
Oh yeah, or you just pull it up on your phone as well if you open the email. Mm-hmm.
I can also put the link up. Yeah. There's various ways.
I think we'll just do it through email. That way we don't get extra people voting though, right? Like
yeah.
we don't.
Yeah.
We're not.
A lot of randos. Yeah.
Yeah, I do have
my numbers.
I do have all the emails in the Great Book Club email.
I was gonna ask you, do you want me to make it through that Google account because then you can keep it, and if you like it, you can recycle it.
Oh yeah, sure. I gave you access, right? I think I did.
I think so, but I probably forgot the password.
I can give it to you.
Okay. I'll look and see if I have it in the old texts. Sweet.
Okay.
I'll be on that then. I'm excited.
Okay,
Look.
yay. So exciting. Well, have a good rest of your week, start of the week. And
Yes.
have a good night.
See you all in a week and a
Bye.
half.
Take care.